Mayor. All right, good evening. Welcome, everyone. May we have a roll call, please?
Shoemaker,
Here.
Hofstadter,
Here.
Khan,
Here.
Hoffy,
Here.
Poland,
Here.
Vaughn.
Here.
Thank you. Good evening. Have any visitors watching, please leave a comment and we'll respond to you. May we have motion to suspend the reading of the minutes?
I so move, Hoppy.
Second, Poland.
Hoffy,
Aye.
Poland,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Shoemaker,
Aye.
Hofstadter,
Aye.
Khan.
Aye.
Thank you. Bill Resolution 2020-31. Are there any questions on the bills this evening?
Excuse me, Mayor, we need
Oh.
to
Accept.
ask for
Accept
any
the minute.
corrections.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pass it.
I'm sorry. Are there any additions or corrections?
I
Maybe
have
pass.
one. I
Pardon?
have one.
Okay.
Tom let me know this morning, the typo in the minutes under the report of officers. It says Chief Vaughn, and it should say Chief Shaner. Sorry about that, Matt.
Old habits.
Yep.
I don't want to go back.
I so move to approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
Shoemaker,
Aye.
Hoffy,
Aye.
Hofstadter,
Aye.
Khan,
Aye.
Poland,
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Thank you. I do apologize for that. Now, do we have any questions on the bills this evening? Hearing none, may we have motion to pay the bills?
So moved, Hofstadter.
On second.
Hofstadter,
Aye.
Khan,
Aye.
Shoemaker,
Aye.
Poland,
Aye.
Hoffy,
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Thank you. Chief?
The only thing I have is, each council meeting, Councilman Khan asked, if I had any applicants or anything like that. He had sent me an email, asked me a couple questions. And I guess I kind of want to address them, maybe bounce some things off of you guys, see what your opinions are. One of his questions was as far as advertising for the position, what we have done. The only thing I've done I've posted it in Facebook. The last couple times we had hires, they came off the Facebook ads. I've not gone anywhere else for the advertising. I think right now it's just kind of tough. And I think probably the Facebook posts, at least in the past, the shares is what's generated and got us to the different applicants. There was a couple online places that I looked at for advertising job positions. And I guess the couple that I looked at looked more like for like bigger metropolitan area advertising. I don't know if it's something that I should still pursue or not. I'm just kind of up in the air right now with what is going on. I've seen posts from other departments. They're expanding their residency. They're doing this, doing that. Places everywhere is just having a hard time getting applicants. Seems like the departments that are continually hiring, and the departments that are looking are continually looking. Obviously, if I knew what we need to do, how we needed to do it, I would be doing that. Another question is as far as what our starting pay is. I've checked a couple of departments are in around us that are relatively close in our size. Sugar Creek, us, and Loudonville, the three of us, pay wise, Sugar Creek pays more than us. I'm not sure off the top of my head what that is. And Loudonville pays less than us. So we're kind of smack dab in the middle. I don't know work-wise, volume-wise, what Sugar Creek's like. But I know just from listening to Loudonville, since they dispatch through the Holmes County Sheriff's Office, they're a booming little burg. So, you know, it's there again, I kind of look at what our work is compared to other agencies, some of the bigger departments. I mean, they pay more. We're not terribly far away from what I consider some of the bigger departments, Mansfield, Worcester, those type of places. Our pay isn't far off. I mean, I'm sure if we would jack our pay up, that probably would be enticing, but I guess to me, at some point, you kind of have to look at, is it bad for where we're at and what we do? And I don't think, obviously, yes, if we had unlimited funds and we could jack the pay up, yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome. But I don't think anymore that we're too far away from where we need to be. More is obviously better, but like I said, you could pay. There's places that are paying a lot more than us that are having the same problems we're having. So I don't know what the answer is, especially with them not running academies. It's going to get to be slim pickings, trying to draw people away from other departments. To me, unless you find a habitual, somebody constantly looking for the greener grass, and that obviously, if we would find a person like that and they would come here, it's very hard to say whether or not we would be able to entice them and keep them here. Some of those people are just perpetually looking for what's better and are going to keep moving. So I don't have any answers or tricks, or I'm kind of at a loss what to do. I could be kicking the ads for constantly advertising that we're hiring. To be honest with you, probably should have done it more often than what we have. I don't think we posted it since Tyler retired. But I look at, some of the other agencies that I follow on Facebook, and it's every other day they're advertising or they put up their post. And I don't necessarily think that's right either. I'm not sure if there is a right or wrong. So I guess that's kind of where I'm at and my thoughts on the things. And like I said, if anybody has suggestions or anything we should explore, I'll gladly do that or talk to them.
Matt, is there anyone on the auxiliary who is possibly looking for part-time work?
I don't know that answer, other than the one thing I can tell you is whenever they do get on the auxiliary, that's one of the things that's expressed to them, that they have the opportunity to come in, check it out, look what's going on, and work from the auxiliary up. That's one thing that I did. I've worked my way up from the auxiliary. A lot of the auxiliary guys have full-time jobs. Quite a few of them right now are into private security work, which we can't compete with that because I don't think we're going to pay part-timers or a full department of people around what my wage is. And that's what some of the part-time private security people are making. So it's very hard for them to commit to working, even though our part-time is kind of on call. It's hard for them, even at our part-time pay now, to turn down a job that's $30 an hour versus, the $19 that they'd be making through us. So, and I know our one part-time guy that does work for us is into the private security thing, and he's kind of okay with the now and thens because that's how he is too. Obviously, if he can go make more money, he's going to go make more money, and I don't blame him. I don't think anybody would blame him. And he's always been really good about letting us know, hey, I'll be here from this week to this week. Other than that, I'll be gone. So, I don't know. With the way our auxiliary is changing, this has not been a good year for it, but I'm looking at trying to get more people to do more hours with the department. So maybe that will entice them to want to be working more. Because it's never really been a mandatory thing for them to do any kind of hours with the officers or dispatch. But that's something that's in the mix just right now with the way COVID is. And obviously what I had last week, I'm not going to start mandatoring the auxiliary to come in and spend time whenever they're not getting paid for it. Essentially is where I'm at with that for right now.
Matt, is there any national publication that we could advertise in?
I would imagine there probably is. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know what their costs would be or anything like that. I guess I could check into that. I don't know where I would even begin other than start looking on Google for something like that. But I'm sure there probably is some sort of publication somewhere.
Pat, you might want to check out the Ohio Municipal League, because we are a member of that, and they do have a classified section on there.
Okay.
And I believe if you're a member, there is no fee to advertise on there.
Okay.
So you might want to check that out.
Okay.
Anything else, Chief?
Nope, other than for executive session.
All right.
Involved in that discussion.
Thank you for that follow-up, Chief. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Nate?
It's good to see everybody again. I don't have much tonight, just a couple quick updates. Mid-Ohio Concrete is in town working. They're on North Washington Street right now, working on those sidewalks. I don't have the exact date offhand here, but it was a Sunday afternoon. The Lions Club was putting up the Christmas lights downtown, and one of the street light poles was loose. They called us in. Matt Weaver and myself ended up taking it down. It was ready to fall. So we got that down. I guess I'm telling you that to tell you it's right in front of Starlight Antiques. If you noticed a cone, noticed something missing there, that's what's missing. Working with Millersburg Electric to get that replaced, but also I'm a little nervous about the rest of the poles up through town. This is the second one we've had issues with now. And I hate to throw this out there, but I'm afraid that the hanging baskets that we put up might be too much weight for those poles. I don't know that that's the cause, but it's probably not helping anything. So I'm working with Millersburg Electric to figure out a way that we can do some sort of inspection on those poles and how they're mounted. There's not much you can see by removing the access panels. I don't know if we can get a hold of a camera of some sort that we can send up to look at the mounting brackets and everything, but that's where we're at. And as you'll recall, we've talked in the past about extending the lighting down to the west end of town. I guess I'm throwing this out as we may be looking at a bigger project than we anticipated, depending what we find out with these other poles. So just a heads up.
Is it just from like the wear and tear of the pole moving, or are they rusting at the bottom, or?
It's a combination. The one in front of Starlight Antiques, there's a base plate down at the ground that's poured into the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's all thread that goes up to a ring in the middle section that the all thread bolts into that ring and it holds everything down. So my thought is, with hanging weights off the side, all that wind is moving it, and it's constantly reaming out around the all thread, which is what we found. 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5, however many, we could just snap them loose by hand. I mean, it was virtually gone. And those poles, they're not super heavy, but we don't want those falling on cars or, God forbid, people. I mean, we need to avoid that. So that's what we're working on, is trying to figure out a way to get up in there to see what's going on. You know, maybe it was just one or two of them here. I suspect it's not. So we'll keep you updated on that. And then the last thing I had, we're working again on our split shifts with the flare up with the COVID-19, but it's going okay. It's just, I guess I'm asking people, residents and everybody, just be patient. We're doing what we can with what we have, and leaf collection is still going on this week. So we'll keep that going for a while and go from there. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have 3 items tonight. The one is to ask council for approval to do a line item transfer in the general fund. Would be from the account number 1,620,500 to 110,550. And that would be in the amount of $48,000 for a police cruiser. We initially were going to appropriate that for next year, but Matt's having a lot of difficulty with the 14 that's going to involve transmission replacement, engine replacement. I don't know, Matt, what, $12,000, $15,000 probably at least. So to put that type of money into the one that was going to be taken out of service next year anyhow, we thought if council would approve it, we move that money to Matt's vehicle account for this year and let him get that ordered. And then we removed it from the appropriations for next year. So if council doesn't have any problem with that, we would need a motion to do that line item transfer.
Shoemaker, I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
Shoemaker,
Aye.
Coffee,
Aye.
Hofstadter,
Aye.
Khan,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Poland.
Aye.
Thank you. And the solicitor's contract kind of slipped through the cracks. We should have done this at last meeting, but Karen actually caught the expiration was up. So good job, Karen. So we have that contract up for renewal, and it's for a 1-year period for $160 per hour. Would need a motion if council wants to accept that.
Make a motion, Con.
Second, Poland.
Khan,
Aye.
Poland,
Aye.
Shoemaker,
Aye.
Hofstadter,
Aye.
Coffee,
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
And the last item I have is we received another request this morning from Patrick Horn to the village to buy back 3 graves that he currently owns at the cemetery. He no longer has a need for those. And the cost on that would be $900 that we would buy those back for.
I'll make a motion to do the buyback, Hofstadter.
I'll second that, Hoffy.
Hofstadter,
Aye.
Coffee,
Aye.
Poland,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Shoemaker,
Aye.
Khan.
Aye.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hines?
I don't have anything, just thank you for renewing the contract.
All right, we'll move on to legislation. First reading, resolution 2020-32 by title only. A resolution setting wages and salaries for elected officials, salaried and hourly employees of the Village of Millersburg, and to define vacations, sick leave, and holidays. Are there any questions? First reading, resolution 2020-33 by title only. A resolution authorizing the purchase of real estate. Are there any questions? First reading resolution 2020-34 by title only. A resolution authorizing the transfer of sums from the general fund, the street maintenance and repair fund, to the cemetery operating fund, to the police pension fund, to the accumulated leave fund, and to the sidewalk replacement fund. Are there any questions? First reading ordinance 2020-103 by title only. An ordinance to make appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Millersburg, State of Ohio, during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2021. Are there any questions? Any committee reports? Old business. New business.
Shoemaker, I had a resident ask about income tax. And this is if we could develop reciprocity with neighboring communities to work on that they're not paying both income taxes. Something to think about, I guess.
Does anyone have any comments or questions on that?
I talked to Ryan Hirschberger about that. That is who sent everyone an email. He received some answers back from a few of us. I agreed with him. When I moved here, I was shocked that I had to pay the town I work in, the town my husband works in, and for Millersburg. So, you know, I've talked to Karen about this a couple years ago, and at that time, she thought that the amount that would go back to the taxpayers would be around $120,000. But I've talked to her today, and we were talking about, you know, she would have to go through every single individual income tax return. And we did have discussion that the time is coming in the future when the state will be in charge of local taxes. And perhaps that's when we will see these credits. I don't know.
My feeling is to talk, you know, to different communities in the counties that surround us, and not a complete reduction, but at least maybe a partial that we could look at. That's just my thought.
I think if this is something the council would like to pursue, we need to do a lot of hard thinking on how to pursue this. And I think it'd only be fair to also talk to the other municipalities to be involved with this, that they would be willing to work with the village and also do it on their side also.
Exactly,
That's just
right.
my thoughts.
No, exactly.
Do we know how much money that's making for the village?
So there's no way to tell that, Brad.
There's no way to tell that.
Like Kelly said, I would physically
Yeah.
have to go through each tax return to look and see who
Sure.
worked out of town. And to be honest with you, there's no time and manpower to do that. So
I understand.
pursue that. They can hire somebody outside to do it, but that's about the only way I know of to tell. We don't, our tax program does not, all we enter is dollar amounts. We don't enter where someone works, so.
I thought you might have a trick up your sleeve or something, Karen.
Sorry, I don't on that one.
I don't know if there's any other communities that do anything with their income taxes. If we could talk to them, if there is a split.
The problem that I see with that happening, Bob, is everybody wants their money. So it doesn't matter that I'm paying, 1.5% here and 1.5% in Orville and, in Shreve. It doesn't matter that I'm paying it everywhere else. I'm paying 3%, and there are a lot of people that are paying 1.5%. So does that suck for me? Yeah, that sucks for me. But Orville wants their money, Millersburg wants their money, Shreve wants their money, and I don't know that any of the localities are willing to say, sure, we'll take less money, which is sad because it's really my money.
Right. When it comes down to it, there's a lot more people from here going outside of the area to work than people commuting to Millersburg to work.
And I think as council, that's something that we need to look into as far as bringing jobs here. Because that would
Exactly.
raise our income tax revenue. And that is something that we need to look at.
That's
We
been
need
something
to
something I've been asking for the last 7 years.
Mhm. That's right. That's right.
Okay, food for thought. Any other new business? If not, may we have a motion to go to executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of public employee or official.
So moved, Poland.
Second, Hofstadter.
Poland,
Aye.
Hofstadter,
Aye.
Shoemaker,
Aye.
Khan,
Aye.
Coffee,
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.